Let me just say one word for you all: Ethereum. Don't forget it. Realize that its power in crypto is much stronger than what meets the third eye. This strength and power is really about to go into overdrive throughout the second half of 2021. So much power, Vitalik is going from skinny to seriously buff, just like his father. So viewers of the tube, am I your father? Call me daddy, because it's time for Chico Crypto. Yeah, before we get into this content, that is actually Vitalik Buterin's father, Dmitry Buterin. There he is with a baby Vitalik reading a book. Good work, Dmitry, you raised a fine fellow. Now it's just time to get him buff, but also now to answer the question of why I'm getting all gung-ho on Ethereum as we turn into July. Well, London bridges are falling down, falling down, falling down.
London calling to the faraway towns. Now war is declared and battle come down.
Yup, the Ethereum London upgrade is coming and coming very soon. So first, what is so important about the London network upgrade? Why is this hard fork the most anticipated upgrade among the Ethereum community in a really long time? Well, it aims to solve the problems of transaction fees on the Ethereum network, which as we know can be high and very variable. There is really no consistency. Why is this? Well, the Ethereum we all know includes a gas fee in transactions to incentivize miners to include it in the block. These fees are set by the highest bidder model. If the fee is set too low, other users might outbid your gas fee and your transaction may linger in the pool until it expires and is canceled, and that can be a long time. This means Ethereum fees are unpredictable and there are long waits unless you pay big. So how is this being changed? Well, through EIP 1559, the improvement proposal, which will change the fee market for the ETH 1.0 chain. And as we can see from the Ethereum GitHub, this has been in the works for over 2 years now. It was officially created by ETH core members in April of 2019. So it's been a long time coming, but what does it do, the EIP? Well, it throws that highest bidder model right out the window where it belongs. The new model will set fees according to network usage with a variable base fee. This base fee is automatically set by the Ethereum protocol itself based on usage and demand. So the Ethereum network will have a target per block gas usage, and the base fee increases slightly when it drifts above the target, and when capacity is below the target, it decreases slightly. Because the base fee changes are constrained, the maximum difference in the base fee from block to block will be predictable. That means wallets like MetaMask and dApps like Uniswap will be able to set fees for users in a much more reliable fashion. Users won't have to decide gas prices, gas limits, high, low, or medium only in certain circumstances. AKA usability of ETH is about to get much more friendlier to the average Joe. That is great news, especially for the amount of new people getting involved with DeFi and Ethereum every day. The learning curve will be decreased significantly with predictable fees. But that isn't even the big part of this upgrade. The Get Vitalik buff part of London in EIP 1559, that base fee is getting burned.
Burn, baby, burn. This going burn all. Burn, baby, burn. Burn the mother now.
Burn, ether, burn. Vitalik's inferno. Burn, ether, burn. It's going away forever now. Yeah, the base fee gets destroyed. The ether goes into the ether, gone forever to never return to the protocol again. So how does this work compared to that old model, the one we know? Well, of course, we know nothing gets burned in the model we know, but regarding rewards from the Ethereum protocol, the miners received it all. They received the block rewards for securing and processing transactions, but also the transaction fees from those transactions. They got it all. Now, with the new fee model, of course the miners are still compensated with block rewards, but no longer do they get the bulk of transaction fees. Those are burned for the holders. But the miners can get an optional tip from users of Ethereum. Wait, a tip? What's a miner tip for? Well, this tip that transaction senders can't include is there to reduce uncle risk. That means basically a miner's block not being included due to extra transactions in their block. But also, if there are suddenly far more transactions than expected, miners will include transactions with higher tips first. So the fee-based prioritization mechanism still exists as a backup. Wait, won't this just create bidding wars like what we are experiencing today with the old model? Not necessarily, because the tip level is independent of the base fee. So client implementations can confidently put forward low gas tips and expect their transactions to be accepted in normal conditions, aka 80 to 95% of the time. Normally, there is no incentive, absolutely none, to set a tip higher than the bare minimum. In cases of sudden congestion, aka Ethereum 3 months ago, tips do fall into a bidding war. There isn't much that can be done in that case yet. So what does this mean for Ethereum and its main asset Ether? Well, this creates a situation where Ether is ultrasound money. It doesn't inflate forever like fiat. New reserves aren't being discovered like gold, and its issuance doesn't go flat like Bitcoin. Eventually, the supply starts to go deflationary. This doesn't mean the supply of ETH will go to zero eventually, but it will go down. The supply might decrease by 1 to 2% per year, potentially even more depending on the usage of the network. So where are we with London? What is the status? When is it going to drop? Well, it's possibly coming at the end of this month, and I'm going to get into exactly why. But first, it's time for a sponsored segment of this video, supported by the team over at the Glitch Protocol. And like always, the full details of our agreement are down in the description. So first, what is Glitch Protocol and Glitch Finance? Well, checking out their website, glitch.finance, they say they're the DeFi operating system, supporting mass adoption with a blockchain built exclusively for decentralized finance, DeFi. Well, Glitch actually created a new Layer 1 protocol focused purely on DeFi dApps and users with the ultimate goal of becoming a cornerstone of infrastructure in DeFi. They get the power of permissionless applications unlocked while simultaneously reducing transaction costs and rewarding every participant within the ecosystem. And their Layer 1 is built to be fully interoperable with all the major blockchains. And Glitch isn't just talking the talk, they're checking boxes off their roadmap and adding new goals and objectives daily. The latest box that was checked was a couple days ago on June 30th with the successful launch of the Glitch Testnet and Explorer. Here they are able to showcase their industry-leading minimum 3,000 transactions per second on the blockchain while maintaining low fees, allowing for interoperability, all while maintaining decentralization and security through their delegated proof-of-stake model. And there are so many more releases coming soon, including their browser wallet and the GEX, the Glitch Decentralized Exchange, both of which are being demoed and trialed as I speak, and looking pretty dang sweet. And not to mention the release of the mainnet, which is looking to happen by August. Besides the major releases right around the corner, community is super important to Glitch, and they have a lot going on that front for both users and developers. If you're a developer, they have some free money up for grabs with the Glitch Grants program, where they've committed $2 million towards funding projects that want to build on Glitch. All you have to do is apply. And for the users, they have a ton of opportunities for you too. Firstly, they have implemented a revenue sharing model for all the ecosystem participants. Everyone, even the users and holders, get a share of the profits from every single participating Glitch dApp. Second, coming soon on July 7th, Glitch is launching their Community Advocate program, where you can join in on the community fun and the network with the team and others. You can earn special VIP tickets, Glitch gear, job opportunities, and try to work on bounties to earn some of that juicy GLCH tokens. So we all know DeFi is the future, and Glitch is bringing a laser-focused solution to that ecosystem. If you're a user looking to get rewarded, or even a developer looking for a development home, which pays you to build, links for everything Glitch are below. Now back to EIP 1559 and the London upgrade. So at the end of the month, are we going to have a new fees market model? Are you being serious about that, Chico? Well, last week on Wednesday, Tim Biko, core Ethereum dev, tweeted that the first London block was mined on the Ropsten testnet. Yeah, they got it out last week, the first planned testnet, and it's running smoothly, burning away those Ether and base fees. On Ropsten, within the first day, more than 85,000 Ether were burned. Whoa, 85,000 Ether burned in one day? Is that what could happen on the mainnet? No, this is a testnet. This isn't real money. So people were putting forward massive transactions with massive base fees to test it out in the beginning. Luckily, there is a website, watchtheburn.com, which lets you visualize the burns. And as you can see, only just over 3,000 more Ether have been burned since the first day, June 23rd. The burn is leveling out on the testnet. Although Ropsten is just testnet number 1, there were 2 more planned testnets for this to go live on before the transfer to the mainnet, Goerli and Rinkeby. What is their status? Well, using Watch the Burn and switching up top to the Goerli testnet, we can see the burn is live there. That happened yesterday. So this upgrade has went live on 2 testnets in just a week, and there's only 1 left before mainnet. So personally, I think since the implementation is happening smoothly on 2 testnets so far, I would expect Rinkeby to happen by next week. Stress testing will be done on each of the networks for at least a couple weeks each. And according to some of the core Ethereum devs, if no problems are found within the testnets, we could see a late July, early August for the launch of EIP 1559 on the mainnet. If bugs are found though and things don't go to plan, it could be delayed to late August. We don't want that, but delays are a feature of Ethereum development, not a bug, if we look into the past. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but it's likely it could drift into August. If it does, I'll be drifting along with you guys, keeping you updated. Cheers, I'll see you next time.